Do you often think about the past with regrets and pain, or occasionally worry about the future uncertainties? In today's book summary, we're exploring The Power of Now, a book by Eckhart Tolle. This book teaches us how we can live in the present moment. Imagine how often our minds drift into the past, thinking about things we wish we'd done differently, or jump ahead to the future, worrying about what could happen. This habit creates a lot of stress and prevents us from really enjoying life as it's happening. The main idea in this book is that peace and happiness are only found in the present moment. By focusing on the now, we can step out of our endless stream of thoughts and feel a genuine sense of calm and contentment. One of the core concepts here is something called the pain body, which represents all the past emotional pain we carry. Every time we dwell on negative memories, hold on to grudges, or relive past traumas, we're feeding this pain body. It grows stronger and becomes a kind of emotional weight that holds us down. To break free, we have to start observing our thoughts without letting them control us. Just notice when your mind goes into these negative loops and recognize that you have the power to stop engaging with them. This act of noticing without getting involved helps weaken the pain body over time, giving you more control over your emotions. The book also highlights a key difference between clock time and psychological time. Clock time is practical. It's what we use to plan our day or schedule events. But psychological time is when we mentally live in the past or the future, and it's what keeps us anxious or feeling regretful. The takeaway here is to use clock time when it's helpful, but not to let our minds wander into psychological time. When we catch ourselves slipping into worry about the future or getting stuck in the past, we can bring ourselves back to the present. Just ask, what's happening right now? This simple shift can prevent a lot of unnecessary stress. Practical ways to stay present are emphasized throughout the book. One approach is to focus on your breathing. Whenever you feel anxious or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths, noticing the sensation of air filling and leaving your lungs. This anchors you to the present and calms your mind. Another technique is to be fully aware of the physical sensations in your body, like the feeling of your feet on the ground or the texture of objects you're touching. It's a way to keep yourself grounded in the here and now. The lessons extend to relationships as well. Often, relationships can be built on neediness or expectations, which lead to tension and conflict. By staying present with your partner, really listening and accepting them as they are without projecting past hurts or future worries, relationships can become more authentic and less strained. This shift allows for more open communication and understanding, free from the usual cycles of blame and control. This book goes on to emphasize that our thoughts are not who we really are, they are just patterns that we've learned to live by. By learning to separate ourselves from these thoughts, we can find a more peaceful and fulfilled state of being. Let's discuss some of the core takeaways from the book, with an emphasis on how we can apply them to our reality. 1. Detaching from the ego. One of the biggest obstacles to living in the present is the ego, which is the voice in our head that constantly seeks validation, status, and identity. The ego thrives on comparisons, complaints, and endless what-if scenarios. According to this perspective, our ego is what pulls us out of the present and into those spirals of worry and regret. In practice, we can start detaching from the ego by simply noticing these thoughts without identifying with them. Next time you find yourself angry or anxious, try to observe the emotion as if you're watching someone else experience it. This small shift creates a space between you and the emotion, weakening the ego's grip and bringing you back to the present. 2. Observing the pain body. Our pain body is like a mental backpack of past hurts, traumas, and negative experiences. We carry this around with us, and it often gets triggered by certain situations or people, leading us to react in ways that don't serve us. For example, snapping at a friend or overreacting to criticism can sometimes be the pain body acting out. It feeds on negative emotions, and unless we're aware of it, it keeps us trapped in cycles of reaction. To deal with the pain body, endeavor to notice when it surfaces and to label it for what it is. By observing these feelings without acting on them, we can lessen the control the pain body has over us. Over time, this practice helps dissolve old wounds and allows us to move forward without that emotional baggage. 3. Anchoring yourself in the now. An essential theme of the book is learning to stay anchored in the now, regardless of circumstances. To do this, we can incorporate simple mindfulness practices into our daily lives. One approach is to bring full awareness to whatever we're doing, whether it's eating, walking, or even washing dishes. Instead of rushing through tasks, take a moment to be aware of every sensation, like the taste of food or the sound of water running. This practice helps quiet the mind and lets us experience life fully as it unfolds. 4. Transforming relationships through presence. In relationships, we often have expectations and attachments that create conflict. We may project our insecurities or look for validation from the other person, which leads to neediness and misunderstandings. By practicing presence, we can enter relationships from a place of acceptance and love rather than dependency. This means listening without judgment, accepting others as they are, and being mindful of our own reactions. Presence allows relationships to grow on a foundation of understanding and respect, rather than fear and control. 5. Letting go of psychological time. One of the practical insights from the book is learning to differentiate between clock time and psychological time. While clock time is necessary for planning and productivity, psychological time keeps us from being fully present. When we dwell on past failures or worry about future outcomes, we are living in psychological time. To counter this, the book suggests periodically asking, "Am I safe and okay right now?" This question grounds us in the reality that, in most moments, there's nothing actually wrong. It's the mental projection of past and future that creates tension. 6. Embracing the state of being. It also encourages us to recognize the difference between doing and being. Doing is about constant activity, goals, and outcomes, while being is simply existing in the moment without needing anything to change. When we practice being, we experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. Instead of filling every moment with thoughts, we can learn to sit quietly, feeling the aliveness within us. This state of presence doesn't require anything to be different. It's a state of completeness. To wrap this up, this book offers several practical exercises to help us anchor in the now. 1. Breath awareness. Whenever stress arises, focus on your breathing. Notice each inhale and exhale, letting it guide you back to the present. 2. Body scan. Bring awareness to different parts of your body, feeling the sensations. This practice helps you stay grounded and connected. 3. Mindful listening. When someone speaks, give them your full attention. Avoid formulating responses in your mind while they talk. Just listen. In essence, the power of now is a guide to quieting the mind's constant chatter, helping us find a life that's simpler, more peaceful, and deeply fulfilling. It teaches us that everything we need is available in the present moment, and by embracing this truth, we open ourselves to a life that feels both authentic and complete. Thank you for joining us for this book summary. We hope it has inspired you to begin living more mindfully, embracing each moment, and staying grounded in the present. Practicing awareness of the now can have a profound impact on your life, helping you cultivate peace, purpose, and clarity in everything you do. If you found this summary insightful, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you valuable content and exploring life-changing ideas from the world's most impactful books. We'd be thrilled to have you with us for our next summary, where we'll dive into another thought-provoking read designed to inspire and motivate. Until then, keep embracing your true self and living each day with intention.